Welcome back to I Remember That podcast. Today we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Do you remember Thanksgiving? Are you excited for Thanksgiving? Are you a huge fan of Sister Schubert yeast rolls? Because I know I am. So today we're going to break this tradition down. And as always, I'd love to hear you, Ian. Say hey.
Hey,
All right. Thanksgiving. What do you think of when you think Thanksgiving?
turkey mostly.
Mm,
That's I think the general, that's what people think of is turkey, and
true.
I don't care for turkey too much. I'm gonna be honest. When I go to the table to get my selection, I'll get turkey sometimes,
Hmm.
but that's not what I'm there for. I don't care for it as much as other people. I'm just there for the mac and cheese and the deviled eggs
Heard.
personally.
Yeah, and one thing I notice is like, mac and cheese is pretty year round, but it's like real churched up on Thanksgiving and
Oh
Christmas for that
yeah.
matter. Like there's like cheese baked on top. That's not a year round thing. Nobody's doing that year round. And they
No,
really
but
make it so much better.
dude, and I've been to, a lot of Thanksgiving spreads, whether it's, different families' house, friendsgivings, whatever. But I'm gonna say this, dude. Thanksgiving and barbecue places have this in common. If you don't have mac and cheese, you are not real.
True.
You suck, and I hate you. Like, mac and cheese is a staple, and I mean, I'm sorry, like, that's what I'm there for. I legitimately have a sweatshirt that says I'm only here for the mac and cheese. I found it on
That's
Instagram.
beautiful.
The algorithm called out to
It
me, and I
really
bought it.
did.
I spent $40, and I don't care. And I'm dead serious though. If you don't have mac and cheese, what are we doing?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, one thing I noticed about barbecue places, this new trend is to put like a thimble full of macaroni and cheese in a little tiny styrofoam ramekin. I'll say it's not a cup. And what who did decided that? Let's get back to I'm taking it to go plate because there's so much food. Like let's get back to that trend.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I want macaroni and I want seconds if I can. So I'm gonna get a big scoop. But I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna get in line at the Thanksgiving line and in front of the kids and everybody and then take my big scoop. Like I'll get a reasonable scoop first, but as soon like I'm eyeing the line. The second everyone gets first, I'm hopping back for more mac and cheese every time.
It's like the Terminator 2 vision. You're like scanning the room and like, does anyone need seconds? You don't really ask. You just look, and your vision tells you. Yeah, I
Yep.
gotta agree with you on turkey. It's people. It's hard to cook, so it gets real dry. But I've over the years, my technique has been developed, and if you get the pieces on the bottom that's been sitting in that juice all day, it's pretty good. Like I don't like that dry. Like why do I need cranberry sauce to eat something like that? That don't make sense. It's like I guess you could say ketchup and chicken tenders or something, but like it's like
Hmm.
I don't know. And I suppose I'm more of a ham guy if we're being honest here. Do you like ham?
I'll eat whichever one's there, but
Yeah,
I'm not big on either.
gotcha.
It's kind of because my dad and I think this is pretty common. But my dad he's big on what is it, roasting his whatever you want to call it in apple juice, and there's definitely some apple flavor in there, and it's like everyone likes it, everyone enjoys it, or
Hmm.
they say they do, and I don't care. The meats I do like eating meat. I like turkey. Actually, honestly, I'll even say this: turkey is my favorite meat.
Like
I
sliced,
prefer
like
turkey.
deli sliced ham, or like sandwich meat, or is that what you mean, or like thick cut?
Well, either way. Well, I
Gotcha.
actually ground
Oh
turkey is my
yeah,
favorite. Like,
so it's
dude, I
lean.
prefer ground turkey over ground beef. Like any day, like turkey meatballs, turkey burgers. I love
It's
it.
heart
But for
healthy.
some reason, yeah, yeah. I wish that was the reason. It's just juicy, dude. I really love it.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't really. I'll eat it at Thanksgiving, but I feel like because I have to, because you have to have a meat. But I'm there for the sides. I'll get a veggie plate all day long.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. And then, are you a big fan of green bean casserole?
No.
Oh man, my whole life I've been a pretty wacky kid or person when it comes to food. I liked all the things that nobody else likes, except like coleslaw. Who likes that? It's terrible. But like green bean casserole with the French onion noodles and all the stuff it sits in, I guess cream and mushroom soup. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I love it. I it's reheatable. It's good reheated. I don't know. It's just it pairs well with everything else on the plate. And I do want to give a big shout out to deviled eggs. I think about those year
Mm.
round. Like I could. It is funny. Like somebody will be like, when you make eggs, you only eat like two, but when you make deviled eggs, you eat like 14. And it's like,
Right.
how does that work?
And you eat 14 as a side.
Yeah,
Like that's not
yeah,
even like the main
yeah,
dish.
exactly. But back to ham. Huge ham fan. I love the brown sugar. And I even like when people put the pineapple and the cherry on it. Makes it real sweet. I'm a big fan of it. But this last year, my mom sent me home with like almost a whole ham, and I was like, I'm not letting this go to waste, and I ate it all. And then I got gout, and I'm every doctor has been like, dude, you're way too young to have gout. So now I got to be cautious, and I'm telling you, it has been a big roadblock in the food that I love. So be careful out there if you're gonna just start smashing ham this year. Just know that could happen.
What does gout? What is that, and what
Oh
does
my
it do to you?
god. It it okay. Uric acid crystals form in your joints, and if you eat salty preserved meats or like liver, cod, weird stuff, it builds up and builds up, and then your foot kind of swells. Okay, to me, it was like walking on glass for weeks, and you can't sleep. There's nothing you can do. There's no it. I mean, you can get on prescription medicine that helps you prevent it, but it's all pure diet, and you just got to wait it out. And I didn't sleep for weeks. I didn't do anything. I didn't even make music. I was like, it's horrible. So now
That sounds
I
awful.
know, man. I love ham, and I'm getting so nervous now when I see it because it smells so good. Same with bacon. I'm like, man, but I've lost like 30 pounds, so I think I've beat the disease at least for now. But all good. Everybody deals with something different, that happens to be me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other unique Thanksgiving food. Uh, I'm
Like like things unique to Thanksgiving or
Yeah,
things
yeah,
unique
like
to your
well,
like
either.
I'm thinking stuffing.
Stuffing is interesting because we stuff it into the bird's body. Whoever thought of that is weird, but
My family's never done that. I've never actually seen that. I know people do it, but I've never seen it in real life.
yeah, I'm. It's very. I guess it is kind of rare these days. And one year, my mom, she nailed it. She injected the turkey with butter. And every time I say that, people are like, wow, that sounds so unhealthy. And I'm like, well, who cares? It was freaking awesome. Like, it
It's
was the
Thanksgiving. Who
moistest
cares?
turkey ever. And that was so good. So I know she's listened to a few episodes, so if she hears that, all right. But yeah, unique food. Like, did you ever have that? It's not marshmallow. I think it's like whipped cream and fruit mixed together. I can't think of what the name of it is. Fruit salad, I guess. Did you ever have that?
So hold on, say that again. You said something about marshmallows. What else was it?
No, no. I thought it was marshmallow cream, but it's I think it's whipped cream and fruit like mixed together. Now I'm second
Oh,
guessing myself.
it sounds it's kind of familiar, but I don't know. That's what I don't know, man. Honestly, that sounds kind of weird to me because when you said marshmallow, for some reason, that's why I had to have you repeat yourself because I went on like my brain just went off on a tangent.
Well, sweet potato
Just this.
casserole has marshmallows, so maybe
That's what I
that's
was
what I
gonna
was
say.
thinking about.
That's what I was thinking
My
of a sweet
mom
potato
makes a killer
casserole.
one of those too, and
Dude, sweet potatoes are. Oh no, I'm sorry. You finished.
well,
Finish about your mom.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say, the older you get, and you have like friendsgivings and stuff. Maybe you're familiar with that term. And every time I'm invited to one of those, I'll make that sweet potato casserole, and it's always like a joy to see that the plate's empty by the end of it. I kind of feel bad for the other people,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, that's whatever. But it's so
Yeah.
good. Like it's like candy. But apparently it's healthy for you, hopefully.
What I was gonna say is that sweet potatoes are and have been my by far my least favorite food my entire life. I hate sweet potatoes.
Oh.
So just fun fact about me because I went on a whole thing about loving mac and cheese. I just gotta say I'm glad that people love sweet potatoes, and sweet potato casserole honestly looks delicious to me. Like the way the marshmallows are browned and everything, it
Mm-hmm.
looks amazing. But I can't stomach sweet potatoes for some reason. When they get near me, I'm not even gonna get graphic. It's not a good
Maybe it's because of
bodily
Outback.
response.
I don't know.
No, this was from. I remember eating. I remember the first time I ate sweet potatoes when I was 8 years old. They came back. They were no longer in
Oh
my
my
mouth. They were on my plate. And I'm not gonna, like I said, no more graphic nature
Fair.
here. But it was. I won't touch them, dude. I tried a sweet potato again at some point in my life, and I hate them. I just ugh. But again, I'm not a hater.
No, this is
I'm
a
glad people enjoy
discussion.
them. I'm glad people enjoy them.
Somebody out there is going to agree with you. But what's your favorite type of bread for Thanksgiving? Are you like a cornbread guy or yeast rolls, which is mine, Sister Schubert specifically? Uh,
Dog, bring me all the Sister
I
Schubert's
know,
rolls.
dude. I want to marry that lady. Like, I'll take care of her. Well, she'll take care of me,
Yeah,
but
well, it's Sister Schubert, so she's a nun, I think, so you can't.
Rat.
But,
Well,
but
I love her all the
I
same.
don't know if that's real. Oh yeah, no. If she can be, she can be my real life sister and bring them, like real
There
ones
you
too. Like
go.
okay, if we're talking about if the frozen ones
Yeah.
are that
You
good,
wipe.
imagine
The
the ones
fresh
that
ones.
they're
Oh my
inspired
gosh,
by.
you're
Like when
right.
she made them homemade for her family, and they're like, "Hey, you should put this in the frozen food section." How good were they? Fresh, dude.
No, we have got to try them. It's like trying to chip fresh off the factory line. Like it has to be special.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
and or like it's like eating a Krispy Kreme donut when the hot sign's on.
Yes. It has to be. They've got to have a
It's got to
factory
be.
somewhere with tours. We'll be the only two people that ever like wanted to do the tour.
I'm googling it right now, dude. I'm finding out.
But yeah, the secret, my mama, maybe she's not the only one, but I'm gonna pretend she is. But she'd take butter and wipe it on the top of them while they're frozen, and then put it in the oven, and then them things are just sitting in that hot butter while it's cooking, and I buy them year round just to enjoy that.
I've actually not too long ago, my wife was out of town, and I went to the grocery store to buy dinner for me and my kids, and I was like, I'm kind of in the mood for, like, I know my daughter loves steak, so I was like, I'll get some steaks, and not expensive ones,
Hmm.
just some nice little steaks for us to have for dinner, some mac and cheese, some green beans, and I was like, we gotta have a bread though, and I was like, I saw Sister Schubert's, and I was like, man, I haven't had these since probably Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I was like, we gotta do it, man. These are so
She
good.
makes pigs in a blanket and cinnamon rolls as well, and they're just as good.
Okay, dude. So check this out. Sister Schubert's Bakery is in Kentucky.
That's drivable.
I'm curious to see how, dude. It's in South Kentucky. I
Okay.
bet for you, in Murfreesboro. Well, you're in Murfreesboro, right?
Nashville.
No, Nashville. Okay, sorry. Dude, in Nashville, on 65, I bet you could get there in an hour and a half.
Well, I'm not going home to see my family now. I'm going to go there. It's probably more
Dude,
important.
dude, what a Thanksgiving tradition that would be, is going to the Sister Schubert's Bakery every
They
Thanksgiving.
can't close down. The people working there are like, damn it.
Well, okay, so actually, now that you say that, so we can, if you want, like, we can come back to food, but since you say that, I want to transition a little bit
Sure.
to Black Friday.
Oh,
because I hate how people get about Black Friday when they go to the stores. Those people who say to the employees, "Oh, I hate that you're having to work today."
oh yeah. I used to hear that at Kroger all the time. It's like, well, head on home.
It's because you're here.
Yeah.
If you didn't shop, no, we wouldn't be open. That's why we're open.
They would make me work on Thanksgiving Eve or whatever. Kroger would close. Kroger and Oak Ridge would close at like 6 or 7, and it would be hell on earth from 6 a.m. till then. And then like they would have to hire security to tell people to leave because like like you got 10 minutes till you need to be with your family, and you're here buying a pumpkin pie. Like, come on.
Honestly, dude, people are so crazy
Yeah.
when it comes to, I guess like any of those holidays, but people they
It's like
they act like
feral.
they've got that mentality of, oh, I feel so bad for you. It's like, no, if you felt bad for me truly, you would not have me be here right now.
Yeah, yeah,
So stop it.
exactly. But in Black Friday, it's like madness for no reason, really, because like, especially now with all the trick pricing, it's like they'll like the TV, there'll be like three TVs at some special price, but then if you're not camping there, you're not gonna get it, and people still act
Hmm.
crazy. I was just thinking about this earlier. I don't think I've ever bought anything at Black Friday, but sometimes I'll go just to people watch. Um, Cause like West Town Mall will I think it's West Town Mall. I'm always in Knox or East Tennessee during Thanksgiving, so we'll go to like Turkey Creek or West Town Mall and drive around. And I'm always like, I could still get it cheaper online. I feel bad, but it's like, sorry. You ever head out for that?
Okay, so I've never really gone shopping, at least for myself on Black Friday. I've never gotten up at like 4 a.m. and done all that crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although we can go back to this too. Is working in restaurants. You worked at Kroger the day before Thanksgiving, but also, dude, people go out to eat on Black Friday after they're done shopping at noon too, and that shit's
True.
hectic.
Yeah, because they're all
Um,
stressed out probably and tired, and they're like, well, I got to take it out on somebody.
Right. And the restaurants we worked at, I mean, Outback in Oak Ridge is across the street from Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and frickin' the Buffalo Wild Wings I was the manager of is in Turkey Creek, which is a shopping, area. So, I mean, every restaurant I've worked at, if I worked Black Friday, it was just crazy hectic. And
Yeah.
and they're not necessarily all rude people, I guess. I mean, they can be for sure, but it's busy. It's definitely busy.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, back to the question you asked though is, have I ever? It was the one time I actually have recollection of was Mike Pfeiffer,
Love them.
who I'm sure will come up several times throughout this show because he's been both of our friend for a long time. He is notorious. He is known for wanting deals. He's a
Oh
deals
yeah,
guy,
man. He can teach you
and
too. He's like I won't say it. He kind of reminds me
well,
of
he
Donald Trump a little bit sometimes. I don't.
The Art of the
I
Deal
don't
by
want
Mike
him to hear
Pfeiffer.
that and then just get mad or whatever. But
No,
the art of the deal. When I read about that, I was like, dude, Mike should write a book.
dude, and that's the thing. Like Mike definitely does. I mean, in a much nicer way. Mike definitely has the entrepreneurial spirit,
Yeah, and
and
I
I
love
respect
it.
it.
I
I
love it.
I
Since I
don't I
met
don't
him.
have that in me. I don't have that in me to like just be my own boss type thing. Like I need stability and
Hmm.
a job, and that's fine. That like, dude, people are different, and I respect it. I just couldn't do it myself.
Right.
But like I said, he is a big deals guy. And one year, I think we were living together. Actually, we were roommates, and he wanted to get one of the $200 TVs at Walmart, and I mean, I think either his dad gave him money or his dad came. I really don't remember. And we camped out because it was at Walmart, we with the supermarket in it, and we camped out in the like bologna section at Walmart waiting for the Black Friday thing to open up, just so we could get a TV. And it
Sheesh.
was silly.
Yeah, it had to have been. And then you think about it now, and it's like the TV's just like you could get a TV for like $100 now.
Yeah, I mean it was, and that's the thing. Like you were mentioning too, is the TVs that they put on sale. It wasn't some nice TV, and I'm sure it's still, get yourself a 32-inch flat screen, whatever. It doesn't have to be super nice. You're still getting it for $200.
Yeah.
But I don't. Nothing Black Friday has ever been worth it enough for me to go camping anywhere or waking up
No.
at 4 a.m. ever.
I will say one year, and they do this online now, like the PlayStation Store and stuff. But there was one year where I think it was you could get Destiny, uh, Black or Call of Duty, one of the Call of Duties, all of those, like the shooters that had came out a month before, you could get them for half price, and that was a great deal. But I have never seen it again. They don't. I don't think they do that anymore in the store.
Hmm.
That was the only time where I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this because it's worth it. But yeah, most of the
Yeah.
time it's like I just like to people watch. I always go see if there's fights or silliness or it's I don't know. We don't ever go much, but I think last time I went, I bought a pair of pants. That was cool. But it's kind of it's maybe it's not really dying out. It's just I think people just know that the the deals aren't as good as they look.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately, I think, just kind of like you mentioned about the mac and cheese and the thimble type of thing, where it's like the deals. Sometimes it will be cheaper than normal, but there's, I mean, what shrinkflation is, right?
Yes.
Right, where it's like everything, it'll stay the same price, but they give you less.
Hmm.
Like, I went to the store the other day and I found a box of Fruity Pebbles and it was $3, which I was like, wow, this is way cheaper than most cereals been. But dude, this was borderline like, those assortment of, you buy the 8-pack
Yeah.
of the cereals that are individual. It was borderline like 3 of those. Like, of course it's going to be cheap because it's not much cereal. Like, the boxes of, we were getting the family size for $3 when we were kids.
Yes.
But dude, these boxes of cereal, it was legitimately bad.
Especially well, cereal's worse for shrinkflation and the name brand. Like they're just banking on people. Oh, I've bought this for 10 years. I'm just going to continue because I like the brand or and it's like, I think people are waking up to like, oh, well, I can get, you know, that that's not right. Like I can only get 2 bowls of cereal out of one box now. That doesn't feel right. And that it's kind of like waking up from the Matrix. You're like, oh, I'll try something else now, and then you lost that person forever. I think when we lived together, we got on that homeless cereal where it's just a big bag, no box.
Yeah.
And I say homeless because there's no box, not because it's for homeless people.
Yeah,
But
that's what you meant.
yeah, and that's the best deal to me because it's generic. You're not paying for the brand name. It's more cereal that's probably a little less good, but it's still cereal. Um, and it's half the price. And I don't know. I'm so happy that I don't have the gene where I gotta have that brand name because it tastes different. It's like I don't really care. I'd rather save money.
Man, I don't know. Okay, so as established in the Halloween episode when we talked about how I reacted with Ferrero Rocher, I'm not a smart man, and brand like I do because I would. I guess I would rather buy the expensive cereal and complain about it because, dude, I go blind. Like I mentioned again, when I'm in the candy aisle, I go for what I like. When I'm at the grocery store, I know what I like and I get it. I don't think I go blind to brands. I really do, and I'll buy a family size Fruity Pebbles for $7 when you're right. Like literally 5 feet away is Malta-Meal Fruity, whatever they're called, Fruity Stones. And they're going to be $3 and in an even
Yeah.
bigger bag. And I don't ever think about it. I should. I have no job. I should do that.
I thought that you were the one who showed me to look at the unit price. You know, that little barcode sticker underneath everything that tells you like price per ounce. I thought that
So
was
I
you.
do that.
Oh, okay.
No, I definitely do
I
that.
do that
Here's
now,
the thing though.
and I think that's what keeps me safe. I'm like, this is a better deal.
I do that when it comes to like units in terms of, okay, so like I still get blind to brands, but if I see a normal size box of Fruity Pebbles, a family size, and a mega size, then I go to unit price. Like, which one am I actually saving money on of the brand that I want? So I'm still doing it, but I really should be a lot smarter in the brand decision. You know what I mean? Because I don't. Like, I do buy brand name stuff, mac and cheese, Pop-Tarts, because I'll buy Kraft. I'll buy, milk. Dude, well, milk, I take that back. Milk, I won't sacrifice. I can sacrifice on, some cereal taste
There
and some
is
Pop-Tart
different
taste.
in generic milk versus name brand milk. That's very true. I don't drink it as much as I used to, so I'm kind of safe there. But I do understand that.
Dude, I go through a lot of milk. I mean, whether it's cereal or I drink a lot of milk in general, and that's one thing. Like I've when I lost my job a couple months ago, whatever, my wife got Publix brand milk, which was fine. Like, it's definitely not bad. I'm not going to complain about it as opposed to Mayfield, which I'm used to.
Mhm.
But then I went up to Dollar General one day to grab a gallon because it's close. Dude, no way am I'm never getting Dollar General milk ever again.
Well, yeah, you're always taking a gamble in that place.
Right. But
Um,
it is what it is. But yeah, when it comes to the unit prices and everything, it is a brand thing. And now I'm trying to remember how did we get here? Was it Black Friday that we got to this
yeah,
point?
I do want to bring up one more
Okay.
thing with the food because I tried this literally yesterday, maybe today. Um, Thanksgiving pizza. It's what's the brand of pizza that DiGiorno? Yeah. So they have a special edition pizza. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, and I was like, I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna be horrible, but it's gonna be funny. So you know, got it as a joke. It is awesome. It's a 10 out of 10. Okay, so the pizza is Sister Schubert yeast roll. I mean, not probably not literally, but that same bread, and it comes in this like pan, so it's like deep dish, and or not deep dish, but pan pizza, and then it has like a gravy sauce, which is gravy, and green beans, the little onion crispies, and cranberries, like literal cranberries, raisins. And I was like, this is gonna be weird. And I like weird stuff. And I like FOMO stuff where I don't want to miss out, like special limited time offer stuff. So that's where I'm weak. That's where I mess up. I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. But anyway, this pizza is amazing. I'm telling everybody, go try it. If you see it in the store, just try it.
Dude, I actually I saw that on your Instagram today,
Hmm.
and I don't know, my ADD, I saw it and then saw the next thing and forgot, but dude, it looked
It
good.
was
I actually am
good.
interested in trying it.
Yeah, and that makes me think like some delis or even Publix maybe will do like a Thanksgiving sandwich, and it'll have like stuffing, turkey, and then like cranberry sauce, and like sometimes gravy. And I love that. Whoever started doing that, thank you, because
Yeah,
it's just it's Thanksgiving needs to be enjoyed more than just that one day.
yeah, and I don't want to go off on a whole different food tangent,
Sure.
because we could do foods forever, but that's something that I'm so glad that people started experimenting more with is pizzas,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the perfect medium for food to be to combine things, because that's one thing about me and food is when you get me the right kinds of foods, I love mixing them all together.
Agreed.
And like it's a slop. I love that. Like I go to Cracker Barrel, I'll get, it's the hash brown casserole, the scrambled eggs, sausage,
Yes.
biscuits, gravy, and I mix it all together.
Yes.
And I love it. And so, I'll eat a famous bowl at KFC. I'll eat the breakfast bowls at Crystal, but whatever. But pizza is even better for that because it's got the bread, and it's on, it's an eatable disc.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there's breakfast pizza, because you made me think about with the gravy as the
Oh
sauce. So
man,
you got
Walmart
breakfast.
Deli has the best breakfast pizza. I get it once a month at least. Cause
Yeah,
that
breakfast pizza.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had Have you ever had cheeseburger pizza,
Yes, and then
dude?
that reminds me. Have you did when Ninja Turtles movie came out, and maybe it's still in Walmart, but they have a macaroni and cheese pizza, and I'm always like, I wonder if Ian's
Mm,
tried this. It's awesome because macaroni and cheese has the sauce. It's like
mm-hmm.
liquidy, but that cheese on pizza is like, oh, chef's kiss.
Dude, it's so good. And Cece's and I think
Oh yeah.
Gaddy's have mac and cheese pizzas, and I've definitely tried variations of mac and cheese pizza. Maybe not that one from the store,
Hmm.
but I love it. I love a mac and cheese pizza.
And I even like the fancy hipster pizza with like figs and like feta cheese and goat cheese and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like $35,
Balsamic
but
glaze.
yes, dude. Whoever decided to make that trendy, man, I appreciate because a balsamic glaze on a pizza is just perfect. And it's gotta be the glaze,
It's
not
so
just
good.
balsamic dressing.
Right. Yeah, no, but
um
like the dark, it looks like chocolate syrup, but dude, it kills. It's so
it
good.
makes anything just it kicks it up. So did you have any family what's the word? what traditions? That's the word. Did you have anything like specific that you guys did?
Um, okay, so with divorced parents, it kind of depends. It was hard to get traditions for either of the big
That
holidays
makes sense.
because yeah, some years we'd go with my mom, and even with my mom, we would stay in Oak Ridge and just have a local one. Other years we would go to North Carolina with my mom's family. Other years we would go to Ohio with my dad's family,
Okay,
and
lots of
they were all
traveling.
great. I'm not complaining about having divorced parents. They're divorced for a reason, but it was hard to establish traditions, I think.
Mhm.
But one of the things I do remember specifically about Thanksgiving was my mom would have my sisters over a lot of times. I think it's the day before because we were big on Thanksgiving lunch, and they would come over the day before and they would just spend like all day cooking together, and
Okay.
they would be just like ravish the kitchen, like it would be destroyed. And but it was just one of those things. I guess it was a bonding thing for them, and maybe they thought that I was stupid and couldn't cook because I was never invited. But whatever, I got to enjoy the food. So
Yeah, exactly. I can understand that. Yeah, the pressure of being in the kitchen when you're not actually cooking, it's pretty bad. So I don't think I've ever been asked to cook anything. So maybe I am the idiot too. So, but you know what? We're there to tell them that it's good and we'll eat anything. So we play our own part in the play here.
right. And I, it's not lost on me. I bet, people who've listened to Harry Potter episode that we released recently, according to our timeline, is based on the introduction to that, you can assume that we're fairly progressive people and we understand that we weren't invited because we're men and that's
Uh,
whatever.
could
But
be.
dude,
I want my dad cook stuff. One year they did a prime rib, and he's like he has this like fancy grill that has a rotisserie on it, and he just stuck the whole prime rib on it, and like you couldn't go back for seconds because it was like it was gone. It was so good.
yeah.
See, but I get what you mean, especially like your grandparent, like if your grandparents are cooking and stuff. It's pretty close. Yeah, you're right about that. Just
Yeah.
get out of
And
here, you
listen,
rascal.
it is what it is. Like that's the thing is I can cook some things, I especially dude, let me make the mac and cheese. You think I don't know how to
Oh
make some mac and cheese?
yeah,
Like let me do it. I know dude, I have
you're the
experimented.
Sister
I
Schubert of
don't
mac and cheese.
yeah, I can do stuff, but what ends up happening more often than not is if it comes up is again, maybe a gendered role thing, don't care, is that if something breaks or something bad happens, I have to go and fix something.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, this is probably like 5 years ago. We're having Thanksgiving at my mom's house or my grandma's house, and my mom was cooking, and she was peeling the potatoes and pushing all the peels into the disposal.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, it wouldn't turn on and it was backing up. So I had to disassemble the disposal, and because the peels don't break down in there,
Right.
they just get inside the pipe and clog it up. So I had to get in there. And it was funny because that exact same thing happened the day before with my wife when she was cooking for her family. So I knew
Mm.
how to do it, but it's just that was my part. That's when
That's
don't let me
fair.
cook. Just
No, that's
have me come in and fix.
that's better than me. Just I got my part is to play video games quietly and
That was
strike up
that was me growing up
conversations.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have our part to play. I guess the only tradition I can think of, well, my peepaw, my great grandpa, he would pray, and then when he disappeared or well passed away, I guess the next thing is my uncle would take me and my cousin Kelly and my brother. We would go to it's in Wartburg, some park, and we would go shoot guns and bow and arrows and just random stuff like that. And it's like I don't really do that ever. And then it's just it kind of became something I look forward to a little bit just because it's so different. We haven't done that in a few years, but there for a while, that was the thing. It would be like because on Thanksgiving a lot of stuff is closed until Black Friday, so you're done eating and you're like, well, what do we do now? You just kind of go stir crazy if there's nothing on TV. So if the sun was still up when we were done eating, we would rush and go do that before 4 o'clock or whatever time. But that was pretty
Hmm.
cool, spending time and making loud noises and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And it's progressed now a lot of times, especially more often than not, this is when we go to my wife's family's house now for Thanksgiving in Livingston.
Hmm.
Is the women are all cooking, of course, and I say of course because they won't let us. Like, it's not that I don't want to; they just won't let
Right,
me.
right.
But
You're gonna get
but
canceled.
while they're cooking, is yeah, get back in there. But no, the where they have all the men are just watching football, and I assume, I imagine that's probably very relatable for a lot of people growing up,
Right.
because like right now my son does that with us. My daughter, I mean, she kind of goes off and does her own thing now, but a lot of times, at least some of the kids will sit in there with the uncles and the grandpas and watch football, because there's 3 games on every
Is that I was gonna
Thanksgiving.
ask because you watch way more football than I do, and I know that Thanksgiving and football go together, but I assumed it was just because we were all off work. But so there is more things going on than normal on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, there's so normally normal weeks there's one Thursday night game.
Hmm.
That's every Thursday night during the football season. But on Thanksgiving they do 3 games. There's I think it's a noon, a 4 o'clock, and an 8 o'clock game or whatever it is.
It's all
But
day.
it's but there's always 3 games, and I think the Lions and the Cowboys always play, not each other, but they always play on Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just one of those things, and it's just fun to watch. It's fun to keep whoever occupied who's not
It's
cooking
great
or
noise, background noise. So like
yeah.
people can pay attention to the game, then walk away, go do whatever they're gonna do, come back. The score is different, or commercials are playing. It's just noise. It's always nice to just have, even if you don't watch football, it's nice to have on in case there's somebody at your house that does. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's probably one of the biggest Thanksgiving traditions everyone experiences, like in America, I suppose, maybe everywhere.
Yeah. And we don't have to go into the topic like in terms of our full sides, but obviously there's politics at Thanksgiving because there's the uncle or the grandpa, and it's just what's funny is one of the memories that I have was watching football on Thanksgiving the year that Kaepernick did all the
Oh
kneeling, and it was just
yeah,
like, dude, like this is too much.
I'm not
Like
watching
I
NFL ever again. It's like what else are you gonna watch? College, I
right. And
suppose.
but yeah, like I said, I don't want to go into the whole political thing. Obviously, I don't
No,
think our
that's a
podcast will ever
right.
do
I mean,
that.
everyone deals with that on both sides. It's got to be awkward.
Yeah,
Um,
but my sister though, Gabby, I remember one year we got together and Gabby had said it kind of, at least enough people. She's like, "Hey, we're not talking politics like at all. It's not happening." And because obviously there's enough different opinions, and then my stepmom at the dinner table, she said something about, I think she said like Bill Clinton or something. She said the name Clinton, and as soon as the word came out of her mouth, Gabby goes, "Nope, stop,
yeah.
nope." Just instantly, like, we're not doing this. You
Yep.
cut it out.
And then
And so
even if it's not politics, it's like, oh, you're still doing your music thing, or how's that going on? And they know you aren't making any money and you're miserable. They're just trying to push buttons. I bet everyone's got their own version of that. But it's the time of year. You got that uncle that hasn't done anything, but somehow he's better than you because he's older than you, or that
yeah.
weird dynamic.
And it's kind of political, but where you always have the somebody at a distant relative usually who thinks they know what you do, but they think they can do it better or give
Oh,
you like
easily,
advice on
easily.
it. Like my wife, her father, her mother, her brother, her sister-in-law, like her entire immediate family are teachers, right? They all are longtime teachers. Three of them have been principals, like they have longtime teachers.
Hmm.
And we go to Thanksgiving, and this great uncle of hers, or no, his wife, their great aunt, she'll come in and she'll start giving them opinions on the school system, and she's
Mm,
no idea. She's
yeah,
never worked in it. She just will just be like, "Oh, well, I think they're doing this." And Common Core, it's like, you have no idea what's actually
yeah,
happening in the
exactly.
school system.
It's like telling somebody like, "Oh, you can't buy a house. That's embarrassing." And it's like, how much do you think houses are now?
Right. Well, and what's even funnier is with that lady is she's I think 80 probably,
Mm.
and she has they don't have any children. They've never like they haven't experienced the school system outside of secondhand stories and Facebook since probably 1970. And
Yeah.
like, how do you have any
Yeah, if you don't know how to use the
possible
internet,
idea what's happening?
yeah, don't have an
Yeah.
opinion. Or do, but just realize it's not going to be valued.
Right, and that's the thing that everyone doesn't realize is they have an opinion on what someone else is doing that they don't even talk to, that someone else is a subject matter expert in, but they don't realize that everyone else is just being like, "Oh, yeah, oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah." And then
right.
just
Keep the peace, kind of.
yeah, and but they don't realize it. They're just like they just let it they just keep on pouring it out hoping that they're oh, well, oh, they're going to take it with them to work Monday. No, they have quit listening to you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Well, another Thanksgiving TV thing I want to ask is, do you guys watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Comes on early.
It, yeah, at my mom's house, that was something we would put on sometimes.
I feel
My
like the
sister was in
cooking
it
starts
once.
around. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was. My sister was, which I mean, there's a lot of a lot of things going through there, but it was my sister's local in Oak Ridge. There's a dance academy, and my
Yeah.
sisters danced there,
Okay.
and they got to go up there and dance in it. And I actually missed it. I didn't see her on it, but they were actually up there that year to dance in it. So we actually had the Macy's Day Parade on somewhat, but I never really paid attention to it much.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's cool. Like we'll put it on early, and I think that's when my parents and people starts cooking. So it'll be either that or the Today Show, and it's good background noise, just like the football. But sometimes you'll catch like, oh man, like that. There's Marvel characters or something special like a Kiss float, and you'll see Gene Simmons and catching those random things is pretty cool. And then like I always like seeing what kind of floats they do because it's always like something trendy,
Hmm.
SpongeBob or whatever. It's always cool to see like, oh, that character is so iconic that it's got its own float. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
it's a pretty cool thing. I could not imagine going to that though. Anything big like that in New York just would stress me out.
Have you ever been to New York?
Yeah, I have been there. I spent like 3 to 4 hours. I had a layover in New Jersey, and I said, "Wait a minute, it's just across the way there." So we drove into Times Square, and I ran down as fast as I could to take in as much as I possibly could. And then we were like, let's get cheesecake, and ended up spending like $100 on cheesecake because we picked the fanciest restaurant in New York, I guess.
Yeah,
he
that'll
was
happen.
yeah, yeah, he was reading off the menu and saying all these fancy words, and I was like, buddy, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I tipped him pretty dang good. Well, I hope so. Um,
Yeah, right.
but it was really good, and the cheesecake was the best I've ever had, of course. I didn't have any pizza, but I love Times Square, and I love the city, huge city person. But I could not imagine going somewhere where you have to plan your bathroom usage. Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
just gonna have to hold it for 8 hours or however long you're here. I'm just like, that sounds not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I love New York City. My sister lives there now,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
and it's super cool. I've been there 3 times, twice since she's been there. And
Does she
wait,
live down
no,
like in time? Not obviously not maybe not Times Square, but close enough to that.
yeah, no, she lives in Manhattan, and
Oh, okay, okay.
it's yeah, and it's super cool. I misspoke. I've been there twice before she moved there, and once to visit her since she's been there for a
Hmm.
couple days, and it is a lot of fun, and I would love to go up there for a holiday at some point, just to do it, just see what the difference is,
Yeah, like
because
Home
we're
Alone
so
style.
used. Yeah, because we're so used to the southern traditions of Thanksgiving or Christmas, and then also I've experienced a lot of the Midwest traditions
Hmm.
in Ohio with my family, but I've never yeah, like you said in Home Alone, there's he went to New York City the once, but also in the first movie, or actually
Second.
Was it in that same movie? Yeah, was it? No, I mean in the second one, was that when they flew to? Yeah, in the second movie, the family was flying south to Miami,
Yeah.
and while he went to New York,
Hmm.
and so it's like that sounds crazy to me too. Like not being in a cold place during those holidays. So I would love to experience that in
Oh
a totally
yeah.
different environment.
That reminds me. I did.
Um,
I did go to Thanksgiving in Arizona, I think. And you're right. It is a total mind boggle, I guess, or an adjustment because you're eating like what we talked about earlier, but it's still 80 degrees outside.
hmm
Yeah, I would like to go to, what was I going to say originally? New York. Uh, one thing you're saying the differences in culture is one thing I notice when I go up north for Christmas is so you know how on the side of poles there's the Christmas light up like the city puts up the light up stars and
yeah.
stuff. Well,
hmm
wherever I was, Delaware or Maryland, uh, between the two, I notice a lot more of that stuff, but it's Jewish. And I think that's so cool
Hmm.
because it's like enough of that population is there that the city has decided, this section of town is more Jewish. And and the differences in their traditions and our traditions, it's just cool. It's not culture shock because I wasn't shocked. It's like, it's just a great, cool way to take in a different culture.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. That sounds really interesting. I don't think I've ever really seen that, but I like the idea of it.
yeah.
Because there's places I've been to where, for example, it's not the exact same thing, but I worked in Maryland,
Okay.
just outside of DC for a while, and one thing I found is that they have, I would have expected them to be, Washington Redskins / Commanders fans now, but there's a huge like Pittsburgh Steelers following there. There's
Hmm.
just Pittsburgh Steelers bars, and it's just something. Just I know it's weird to compare the Steelers to Jewish people, but it's just that section of the country or that section of this city is dedicated to one thing enough to where it's like there's gatherings,
Yeah.
where there's enough of these people to have large gatherings and decor and all this stuff. So I just find that very interesting.
It's so diverse.
Um,
So and I can understand it making somebody uncomfortable, just like the term culture shock. But um, if you're looking for that, it's just the perfect place to be.
right. So you mentioned Home Alone a little earlier, and definitely would love to talk about Thanksgiving media like movies.
Hmm.
Um, because there's movies and TV that we could definitely talk about. Like obviously the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown,
Yes,
right?
classic.
Or yeah. What are some others? You had mentioned before the pre-show. What are some others you've thought of?
We've came to the conclusion that Son-in-Law is a Thanksgiving movie with Pauly Shore. I watched it. When you put a movie on for your wife and she falls asleep instantly, that was one of those. And the whole premise is he's making a hungry man for Thanksgiving in the dorm, and she's like, no, no, come with me, and then it starts the whole movie. Um,
hmm
I don't watch it on Thanksgiving, but it is a Thanksgiving movie. What was the other one? Planes,
Yeah,
Trains, and Automobiles with John
yeah,
Candy, correct?
yeah. But dude, hold on. Before we move on to that, I do want to mention Son. I do want to talk about
Oh,
Son-in-Law
please.
because similar situation in a way is that apparently you and I both watched it as kids and our wives didn't.
Oh no, no,
And
my wife loved that movie.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I misunderstood what you meant. Okay, so she's already seen it. I cannot for the life of me convince my wife to watch that movie, and she's hard to convince to watch anything anyways, which is, that's
She
one of the
says
things about
Polly
her.
Shore, and she's like, no, no.
Yeah, it's like if I can hardly even convince her to watch Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler, but Pauly Shore, there's no way. um, so yeah, but dude,
That's how
I
my wife is with
love
Ernest.
Son-in-Law.
The Ernest
Oh,
movies. I'm
dude,
like,
I
watch
can only
these, and she's like,
imagine.
no, these are bad. And I'm like, they're good as kids. But yeah, Son-in-Law is. We like it as a couple because I met my wife under such like silly circumstances. this is gonna sound bad out of context, but like she was dating my roommate, and they didn't work out, and so she took me to vacation. I'm just like the zany guy in her band, like the guitar player in her band, and they're from New York and up north, and it was kind of like that feel opposite, obviously, because they're going to the Midwest, and it's like California culture mixing in with small town culture. But I felt like that, like just a silly guy, like, hey, 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 I'm here. So we always laugh when we watch it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like Midwest is kind of the same because they're from like one of the Dakotas, I
I
think,
think
right?
so.
And my family, from Ohio, so there's still a good bit of gap, on opposite ends of the Midwest, I guess you'd say. But my family in Ohio, they're still, half of them have barns or whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
Not crops necessarily, not the animals, but still, I'm familiar with the farmland culture to a degree, and but dude, I do love son-in-law. Just
I feel like those
I
people
don't think
were way more progressive than if he had to go down to like Alabama or something. Like, he would have been killed and forgot about.
right,
So,
yeah.
like,
It's sort of like, have you seen My Cousin Vinny?
yes.
It's like, I bet it's like that because there's those two guys just driving through this Alabama town. Something happens that they weren't around for, and instantly like, nope, you killed him. You're going on trial. You're going to be in jail
Easily.
forever. It's like just because you're outsiders and we don't like you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I feel like I hear what you're saying
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
like they're all like, well, this guy's weird, but we're gonna show him how we do things around here. But if he was weird, where we're from, it's like, buddy, you're gonna no, go back. Here's a bus ticket. Go back. Like
Yeah,
hard no. My
yeah.
cousin
No,
Vinny's a
I've
good one.
definitely experienced that. It actually at Thanksgiving. So kind of tying it back to that is my sister who went off to college and she lived in Nashville and she lives in Louisville
Mhm.
and she'll come home with a new boyfriend and he's just not the type that my dad's ever hoping for. And he's not quite the Pauly Shore, but he's still, they every single one of them's had long hair.
Yeah.
One of them, one of the coolest guys ever, he had a Cowboys from Hell tattoo on his forearm.
Oh man,
um
good one.
yeah, he was awesome. But yeah, just the same thing, where these guys will come around and they're probably from, well, actually I can't say that. I don't know where any of them are actually from, but if they're from those areas, the Nashville, the Louisville, the slightly bigger cities coming
Right.
to Maryville or Oak Ridge, and my dad's who's from, farmland Ohio, he's not happy with this shit. He'll get along with him. He's cool, but he's you better shake his hand firmly and you better call him sir,
Which they never
because the
do.
ones that well, yeah, the first one that shook my dad's hand, my sister's boyfriend, and he said, "Nice to meet you, man. I'm not your man."
Oh
Like, all right,
no,
calm down, Jim. It's not that
Steven
serious.
Seagal style.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
but yeah,
par for the course of Thanksgiving. There's people that are never together coming together with nothing to do but eat at a table together. Oh man,
and that should bring us together more, dude. Eating's the best shit. I love eating
agreed.
so much.
I was
Love
my
it.
papa was like, "You're gaining a little weight." I mean, I've since lost like 30 pounds, but he saw an older picture of me, and I was like, "Papa, about the only thing I enjoy sometimes is eating." So it
Right.
happens. But so I
Yeah.
guess we should end it with like, what are you thankful for? Is there anything that you're thankful for?
I love that. I'm gonna say definitely my family. I
Hmm.
love my family so much. I mean, immediately I'm thinking of my immediate family, wife and kids. But my sisters, my
Your
parents, my
wife's in there with a
grandparents.
gun. She's like, you better
Yeah,
say
you
it.
better. um, yeah, and honestly, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I am unemployed currently. If you know of anybody hiring, please let me know. But since I'm unemployed, I have been for a few months. It is. I'm very thankful for my wife's job
Hmm.
and for just being able to still have this house that we have, and thankful that we bought it pre-COVID, so it's affordable for us.
You got that golden 3% or close to it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I mean, I would definitely say that, and among other things, but that for sure. And you know what, dude? I'm gonna say this. I'm having. It's nice to have, especially partially because I'm unemployed. But this is a great outlet for me. So I'm very thankful
Oh
for you
yeah.
and doing this.
Yeah, I talked to a therapist. Not that I
It's okay to go to therapy.
right. I know exactly. I was telling her about the show, and I was like, I need more things that I don't care if it's good or bad. I just want to do things that I enjoy, whether it's good or bad. And she was like, "That is perfect." And I was like, "I know. I'm talking to my boy like once a week. Like it's just been amazing to catch up and like kind of timeline it. We just get to talk, and yeah, I'm so happy. This has been a blessing, like a kind of like a mind wipe every week or
Mm-hmm.
whenever. But yeah, so I'll say definitely thankful for my wife, my family, the stability that it comes with. But I really, really have been thankful for the friends in my life that I can tell are my friends. Like being a musician and working in a hustle culture area of the world, or like a city or whatever, you meet these people that you you know are they my friend, or is it something that I can offer, vice versa, like it's real, you never really know. And I just I appreciate the people that I don't, or I'm thankful for the people that I never have to guess that about. And I don't know, I've just been reflecting on that this honestly this whole year. But I'm thankful for the people in my life that I'm like, yo, they're good friends. Uh, I hope that's a good one.
No, for sure. I get that. I respect that. Because, like you said, it's especially even more difficult when you are, our age and have children,
Right.
getting together with friends. And it is super nice to, when you have that opportunity to get with a friend, like Mike, who we mentioned earlier, just going to lunch with them and just like never missing a beat, like people who,
Yes.
or like you, we can just chat all the time, even though we lost connection for a good while,
Hmm.
just reconnecting and just knowing that we can talk to each other about anything and not miss a beat and just have a good time. Dude, super thankful for those people.
Yep. I agree. And uh, it's there's so many times while we weren't talking or whatever that I'd be like, I bet Ian would think this is funny. and it's and dude, I swear I thought I thought you had became a teacher and you had it all figured out, and I was just like, dude, that's awesome, and for some reason I painted that picture in my head that you had done that. And it's funny how the mind works like that. uh
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I don't, maybe it was because you didn't have social media that I was just like, maybe he doesn't want uh his old life and his new life, there's people like that out there. So I just always was like,
Yeah.
right on, man, I'll support you from the side. And then it's just so funny the stories your brain comes up with for answers, I suppose. I don't know, but it works out completely perfectly.
For sure.
Let's see. Well, Thanksgiving, we're thankful for it. Thankful for family. Thankful for the listeners of this podcast. We're coming up with some crazy ideas for the future. We hope that you will stick around and be a part of that with us. Maybe a live show. I don't know. Maybe, you know, maybe a couple guests. We don't know. We don't know. Um, but stick around and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Let us know in the comments if you've got some goofy stories for Thanksgiving. We'd love to hear them, and maybe we'll talk about them in the next episode. All right. As always, I hope you remember something out there.